Welcome to your interactive study guide on business ownership. Understanding the 5 main structures is crucial for exam success. We'll cover sole traders, partnerships, private and public limited companies, and not-for-profit organizations. The key theme is liability, limited versus unlimited, and how incorporation creates a separate legal entity. By the end, you'll be able to evaluate which structure suits different business scenarios. Let's map out the 5 structures. Sole traders are simple but have unlimited liability, meaning personal assets are at risk. Partnerships share the burden but also have unlimited liability unless they form an LLP. Private and public limited companies are incorporated, giving shareholders limited liability, they can only lose their investment. Not-for-profit organizations prioritize a social mission over profit, often using a company limited by guarantee. Turning to our core notes, these terms are exam favorites. Unlimited liability means if the business fails, creditors can take your house. Limited liability protects personal assets, the company itself is responsible. Incorporation is the legal step that grants limited liability. Shareholders own part of the company and receive dividends as a return. Memorize these definitions to define and apply them in your answers. Incorporation transforms a business into a separate legal entity. You file documents like the memorandum and articles of association with Companies House. Once the certificate of incorporation is issued, the business exists in its own right. Owners become shareholders and gain limited liability, their personal assets are safe. However, there are ongoing costs, like filing annual accounts. This step is essential for LTDs and PLCs. Now let's work through a typical 6-mark question. The key is to evaluate, not just describe. A high-risk startup with 2 founders needs limited liability, their personal savings are at stake. A partnership would leave them jointly liable. A private limited company separates personal and business debts, and they can sell shares to investors. So unlimited is the best choice. Remember to give reasons and consider drawbacks like more paperwork. Common pitfalls trip up many students. First, don't mix up liability types. Sole traders and ordinary partnerships have unlimited liability, LTDs and PLCs have limited. But remember, limited liability partnerships, LLPs, exist. Also, not-for-profit organizations often use a company limited by guarantee, which is a form of limited liability. Always link your structure recommendation to the business's goals, size, and risk profile to hit high marks. To wrap up, match each structure to its liability type. Sole traders and partnerships, except LLPs, have unlimited liability. LTDs and PLCs are incorporated, so limited liability protects shareholders. Not-for-profits vary. The crucial point, incorporation creates a separate legal entity and limited liability. Use this knowledge to evaluate real-world scenarios. You're now ready to ace your exam. Good luck!